Hi, everybody. So I'm here with my sexy voice today because I talk too much in Germany. But I just wanted to introduce you to one of our all-time favorite long-term clients, Steffanie Medhofer. And she offered to be able to help me do this video today because we've known each other for since the beginning.
Exactly.
By the way, we just celebrated, we started our 15th year on November 1st.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We're so excited. And Ian's thinking about going full-time. That was the little joke that we just talked about. No, he actually treated me today with a vial, and it made me feel so much better that I kept going in going, oh my God, I feel so much better. He's like, yeah, I know, that thing we do really works. It was just very funny. But we've known each other, honestly, for 15 years, and we've done all sorts of stuff together. Yes. You've had some of your amalgams out, your kids have been treated, your husband's been treated, you've had lots of different therapies here. Yes. But in the last couple of years, you had a family stress that when you and I saw each other after not seeing each other for 5 or 6 months or something, I could see it on you. And I said, well, why don't you come in and do a little sound of the soul? And you're like, well, what's that? Something new here at True Wellness, right? So that's what we started with, right? With Sound of Soul. Yes. So tell me a little bit about what was going on for you, how you were experiencing the stress in your family first.
We went through a year of cancer with my husband that had a lot of ups and downs with it. And in the middle of that, just taking care of kids and work and everything else, it was just a really very, very stressful year and a half. Wasn't sure if he was going to make it. He's doing great now and everything is great. But a year later, now everything I went through was starting to affect me.
Yeah, and you're a bit of a type A personality.
Yes.
Who doesn't necessarily sleep very much or know how to relax very well.
Correct.
I say with love for you,
Exactly, I know.
And so we did the first Sound of Soul, and it was, be honest with them, it was a little challenging for you.
It was stressful.
To quiet your mind and to know what was next and what was happening. So maybe you can tell them a little bit about that.
That was true. So when I was listening to the music, it sounded beautiful, and I wanted to relax, but I kept listening for the next sound, like what was the next thing that they were going to introduce, or when it was quiet, why was it quiet, was it over, was it going to happen again? And so the first time it definitely was difficult for me, but after the first time I went home, I started listening to my music that you guys had clipped for me and everything.
Which is Her Heart. Just for those of you who don't know what Sound of the Soul is, so we put some heart monitors on you, 3 different heart monitors, and it essentially reads your heart rate, and then it converts it into sound and music and light. And so your clip was you. And why it was so beautiful is because you're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Really, you have a heart of gold. I've known you forever, and I know who you are. And I knew that you just needed to reconnect with you, because when you go through a stress like that, I'm going to get emotional. When you go through a stress like that, it takes a lot out of you, and you get lost with who you are because you were taking care of everybody else. And so I thought this was a good opportunity for you to reconnect with you.
Yes.
And so when you listen to that audio clip that we sent you home with, which was about, 5 or 7 minutes long?
Yes.
And you listened to that, and what happened? What'd you notice?
I noticed that I could breathe easier.
Ah.
I realized that I could get into deep breathing quickly, where I hadn't been able to do that before, and just a sense of calm.
That's nice.
Even if it lasted for a few minutes, it still was something that I hadn't had before.
And we did, I don't remember exactly, I think we did 5 sessions in about 8 or 9 weeks or something like that. And by the end, you were really looking forward to coming in for Sound of Soul.
Yes, because I loved the music. I wasn't as worried about what the next sound was going to be. I wasn't worried about what the silence was going to be about. I just felt very relaxed, and it took me a lot shorter time to get into relaxation mode, where in the beginning I was super tense the entire time.
And we started that, I don't know, 2-3 months ago. What have you noticed in your daily life?
That I can, when I am stressed, yes, I am still stressed, but I can bring it into my life a little bit easier. I'm more aware of it and more aware of myself, which I wasn't before. And because I am a caretaker and take care of a lot of different people, it's hard to think about myself, and this has helped me do that a little bit better after all these years.
That's awesome. I mean, that's the best gift, honestly,
absolutely.
for you to be able to take care of yourself, because that's what I saw. And even before that, you were taking care of other family members, not just your children.
Correct.
And so you've always been a giver, but you can only give for so long before it starts to affect you. And my concern was that you were going to get sick. So I was like, no, let's nip this in the bud and get you not sick and get you, better into a healing capacity, because that's what it really does. It puts you into that parasympathetic state. And one of the things you had said to me at some point down the way is you said, well, I see the stress now, but I decide whether or not I'm going to let that stress me out or not.
Exactly.
Which is huge. The level of consciousness there, rather than just feeling like the puppet that life is affecting me, rather than I have control over how I react to that life.
Exactly.
And then we did one or two FLOWpressos.
We did one presso.
And how did you feel about FLOWpresso?
Well, right after, I felt amazing. I really did feel amazing. I wish that feeling would have lasted a lot longer. Unfortunately, when I left that night, it was raining and it was super stormy, so I was like clinching onto the wheel and whatever. But I do know that that feeling was amazing, just to be able to have it throughout my whole body and my mind, just everything. It was a really beautiful experience.
And when you got up, it was so funny. You're like, I feel like I'm walking on a cloud.
It was so weird.
And unfortunately, we don't know how you would have felt had you not done Sound of Soul before that. But
Correct.
I know that you were more in tune with yourself. So FLOWpresso could work better because
Yes.
you were more in tune with yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
So is there anything you want to say? Because one of the things for me is that there's so many people out there on anti-anxiety medications, on pharmaceutical drugs to suppress how they feel. And I know you could have, well, I know you wouldn't have gone that way
Right.
necessarily, but I know the stress was building. And what would you say to people out there that are searching for some way to handle their stress?
I really thought that this was amazing because I was like a step away from wanting to take something. And
Wow.
although I know that that is not for me, I didn't know what else to do. So it was kind of like a godsend all at the same time, like coming in here and seeing you and you offering that. Like it wasn't something I came in for, and you offered that, and timing was impeccable.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I really appreciate it.
And are you sleeping better?
I am sleeping better.
Good.
I am sleeping better. And I do sometimes turn on my music, my little clip right before I go to bed as I'm going to sleep. And I fall asleep very quickly and I stay asleep with it. And yeah, the nights that I use it is definitely better.
We'll have to get you back into a prezzo.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
both getting a little emotional, I see it. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for watching. And
you.
if you're stressed, come to True Wellness, get de-stressed, and it continues to be de-stressed with Sound of Soul as you get to listen to how beautiful you are. Thank you so much for sharing, Steffanie.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.